quick note, I did think it was a little bit ironic that somebody that doesn't have lips is always talking about somebody having lips. Because John Gruden doesn't have any lips. I don't know if you guys have seen. Google John Gruden. He has no lips.
Hold on. I was
doing the same thing. I was like, dude, what?
Oh,
he's no lip. It just goes. It's just a face with a hole. Pause. There's no like the lip's supposed to be the intermission. This is no intermission.
It's straight line.
Right. Right. It is mine.
All right. So here's my question to y'all, right? Because I'm letting y'all know right now. Anybody do an investigation into my DMs from over 10 years ago, they gonna pull the plug on this whole damn thing. This whole channel. Like, could you imagine somebody going into your DMs and release it? We just obtained Alan York's DMs from 10 years ago. We have 6,000 messages from his MySpace to the Facebook to Instagram. I done said some really thirsty things in my DMs before, so I'm hoping that nobody has, I'm a changed man. I'm in a relationship, so I hope nobody releases these DMs.
That would make me
my thirsty days. What about you, Jay?
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking that I think that's another reason why he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna resign because I'm not even that person. And I'm not, maybe, he's like, I'm not about to be hard down arguing with y'all about my racist comments 10 years ago.
Right. And I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, sometimes
would y'all be good are y'all secure? Like, if that's where we go in society, where they're like, look, everything is now public record, we're gonna start releasing everybody's DM.
I'm gonna beat them to the punch.
Nah, I mean,
I know.
Nah,
I done said some things.
Yeah, no. Y'all could.
Hey, welcome to the Soapboxx Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Legacy, and I am joined with the best co-host any host could ever ask for. I am joined with the family. Welcome. We are back live in full effect. Let's start off with the lady from the north. What's going on, Jesse? What's popping?
What's popping? I'm happy to be here. A little tired. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm feeling blessed that I'm alive, even though my child is trying to come through the door right now. So I'm going to kick it off to you, Alan. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling wonderful.
You in the chopper, Alan.
I'm feeling wonderful. It's always good to see y'all. It's always good to see the family. We had a little sabbatical last week, so it's always good to see y'all faces.
Yes, sir.
Giovanni, how you feeling this week?
I am feeling confident and life, and just I was telling my sisters the other day, I was just like, man, like I started feeling like I was running out of time to get things done, and like I just had to hurry up, like I was taking too long to accomplish my goals and dreams, and I had to just like take a step back and be like, that's not happening. We're not doing that this year. We're not doing that in 2022. Mm-hmm. Gonna give myself some grace and keep it moving. So I'm feeling pretty good today.
Awesome. TJ, how you feeling up there, man?
Listen. Besides you and I having the same fashion sense today, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Decided to, this dude is already putting on glasses. He's got some sort of, hoodie on. I'm like, I can't have nothing. I can't have a damn thing. So, I'm feeling good. Yes, I think we're all getting to that. Huh?
I was just saying that y'all have on blue. Jess and I have on black.
Hey, we don't have a title for this, so we might just call it black and blue. Because this I don't know, I felt like, maybe we need to talk about that. Black and blue, feeling kind of beat down from the new year already. Has everybody given up on their, trying to stay with their New Year's resolutions and your goals and everything, and it just seems like everything is just coming in at once. But if you make it through the fire, you can be successful. Instead of me rambling on. Anybody else feel like that? Like a lot of shit's just coming all at once?
Yeah, I think mentally, yeah, more so than like, at least me. Overthinking as usual, but we're getting into that. Ooh, pardon me, guys. We're getting into that time of the year where it's the honeymoon phase of the New Year's is over. So, everything that you set out to do at the top of the year that you were so motivated about, it's time to do a self-reflection. It's time to do a self-check-in to see how well you're doing on those things. So I think it is common for everyone to go into March being like, okay, I had all these hopes and aspirations for the New Year's. What did actually happen? But I think that's a good thing. It's good to reflect. It's good to check yourself. It's good to see in what areas you need to accelerate and what areas do you need to continue being consistent at. Because a lot of times too, 60 days, even though somewhat far removed, is still not a long time. So doing a lot of things for 60 days may not garner the attention or the results that you want. So it's about mentally preparing yourself and putting yourself back in the game for the long haul. So, everybody definitely just stay strong, stay consistent if you've been persistent, consistent if you've been consistent. If you haven't been consistent, it's not too late to restart it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand the black and blues and what Giovanni was saying as well.
Yo, I am like y'all, I told y'all a couple weeks ago, like I've been on this special diet, and I think that's what's really kicking my ass. Cause like I feel energized, but it's like my schedule of the amount of time that I spend in the gym plus the things that I do in my personal life, it's just all kind of catching up. I got like 3 weeks left of this, so
yep.
We'll see. But you said what?
I said it's the home stretch.
It is the home stretch, and you want to make sure that you get stronger as things progress. But I think a lot of times we set off goals for ourselves, and sometimes we can exceed our own expectations, right? Mm-hmm. Or you think, oh, I'm gonna be here, especially when it comes to sometimes you got to thank God for unanswered prayers, because it's like, man, I thought I wanted to be at this point in life, or I thought that I wanted to accomplish this goal. But then when you go and you get there, mm-hmm. you realize, well, this ain't it. I got more in the tank. So mm-hmm. there's another level that I can, aspire to be. And sometimes the unknown is mentally exhausting. And I think what you were just saying, just being an overthinker, myself being very analytical, and I stay up at night. I'm a night owl myself. So yeah. So I know everybody want to hear that, the people on the soapbox is tired, but maybe that would just kind of let y'all know about a little bit about the sabbatical that we took on last week. But hey, shout out to Soapboxx Nation. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Make sure you follow us, Soapboxx Podcast, the Soapboxx Podcast with 2X. Soapboxx Nation is checking in. Shout out to Maya. She says the honeymoon phase too. Yes, that is the honeymoon phase. She says, please, brother. And I think she's talking about me as we spit fire. So, Jay, what has been going on? What has been going on in your world? You said you're just kind of getting yourself, cleansed and acclimated and giving yourself some grace. Anything new going on in your world?
A lot of things new are happening right now. I describe it as writer's block. I feel like I'm having writer's block. I haven't really been able to write as much as I usually would about certain topics or things for my business. And while I feel like as far as like my Just Doing Her brand, I stepped away from a little bit so I could just narrow down specific people that I wanted to reach or goals that I actually wanted to have or what where do I want my business to go, where do I see it going, things like that. I feel like I had to step away from it a little bit and look at it from an outside view versus being the inside person. And then on top of that, the writer's block thing is just like, okay, I want to continue to encourage and uplift and do all of this and that, but I'm having writer's block. And at least for me, I don't know. I know all of y'all. We all four of us use our social media accounts, our business accounts. We use it for business purposes. And so I feel like because of that, sometimes it's right now in my life, I'm trying to figure out like, okay, well, if your social media is for business, you have a job, that's business, then you're a parent, certain conversations that you have as a business, what is your free world? Like, where do you really feel free? And so I'm just really trying to establish like where those areas are. And then of course, now what I feel like is my social media accounts, the Just Giovanni account and my Just Doing Her account is for business. My close friends is for entertainment. So I think that's probably the best way that I could just try to decipher, because I mean not decipher, but to just break those two up. Because at least for me, I feel like last year you get so caught up in trying to meet the standard of what you feel like your success should be like based on how other people see you, or where they want you to go, or where they want you to do. And now I'm releasing some of those things, and it's just having me to do an overall 280.
No, I got it. No, I feel you. I want to talk about this topic because it's really on my mind, and I really wasn't expecting to talk about this.
Oh wait, is it 280 or 270?
180. I think it's 180.
180. Well, I'm like 280. That's kind of too many numbers.
I knew what you meant. meant. So did the congregation.
Yeah, I knew what you meant too.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yo, the reason I'm tired, right? And I want to talk to this because I want to talk to the fellas. Ladies, you're here, but I want to talk to the fellas. So last night, right? I'm in my place. I'm in my spot. And all I hear is like this screech from like the bowels of like the bellowing of someone. I thought somebody was in danger of being attacked. So, I put the Xbox down, or the PlayStation 5 down, excuse me. And I said, because I'm up being analytical, thinking like a night owl. And when I tell y'all, there was this Caucasian woman or young girl, and her boyfriend was going through it. And this girl was screaming and banging on the door and cussing him out. And I'm sitting there like, this is an episode. And she's like, I don't care if you got neighbors. She literally said that. I don't care if you got neighbors. I'm going to scream on the top of my lungs because you use me. You're a coward. You're a blah, 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 blah. And the screech that I heard from this young lady, you would have thought that this lady was dying, right? So granted, I'm like, this ain't that type of neighborhood. And I'm like, okay. I look out and I'm like, something's really going on because, I was prompted by someone to, check it out because I didn't want to be judged. So I was like, all right, let me go check what's going on. And so I look, and the dude, she was like, look, I need my cell phone. Dude opens the door, goes into the place, door's open. I'm watching for where. She goes, oh, where's my cell phone? You got to help me look for my cell phone. Dude don't say nothing. Dude closes the door, and was like, she said something to him, and she punched this nigga right in his face. And I said, oh, domestic violence. Look at Jesse smiling. You ain't shit. Look, I was like, oh my God. I was like, yo, what is going on? Not only did she punch him in his face and scream like he was doing something to her, yo, she let him know, was like, yo, I'm gonna go into your car and I'm gonna F it up. Cause I'm going home, but I'm gonna F your car up. She goes to try to F his car up, starts to try to bang on his car or whatever, still screaming. This is all 5 o'clock in the morning. Goes back.
I'm sure she had a reason.
Huh? What? How? What? Stop it. You haven't even heard the rest of the story.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
She comes back, banging on this dude's door, throws the potted plants that's outside against the door, whatever. Now potted plants is everywhere, right? And I'm watching this madness like, yo, what the heck is going on? Banging on the door. And then she was like, you know what? I'm going home, but I'm going to steal your bike. So she goes and steals his bike. Anyway, long story short, the cops come, and this girl, she's like, plays victim. And it's like, yo, I don't know, you know what? And I'm just like, they spoke with me. I did take video because I was like, this shit is wild. I didn't want to play it here. But I wanted to, moral of the story is, the dude never came out of his apartment the whole time.
Because he was scared.
They knocked the door. They're like, hey, we just want to check on you because you got to, you know, we thought, you know, there's witness saying that you were attacked. And I was like, never came out of his apartment. The girl, you know, was with the other cops were, yo, they knocked on the door like early this morning, right? After I was like, all right, I'm done watching this shit. And was like, hey, you know, you saw anything, blah, blah, blah. Here's a card. Yeah, you know, I was like, did y'all arrest that girl? They're like, well, no, he's still in his apartment. And so we just let her go. And I'm like, that don't happen for Black folks. Like that, I don't know, that was a elongated story, but like the fact that this dude could be assaulted, the fact that she could scream and do all this shit and nobody, usually in a domestic violence situation, somebody's going to jail. But my question is, what would make, I was like, it has to be infidelity. It has to be something like that. So this dude's life, right? And not to go into too deep, but like, I'm sure his life, from what I know, the dude is a student. His life is about to fucking change because of all the shit that, you know, is about to come with all this drama. And it's just not worth it. It is so important, fellas, to pick the right person. Y'all let Jesse hype these. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry.
First of all, you don't even know the story, CJ. So how are you going to say that it's important for a man to, no, it is important for a woman to also pick the right man because you don't know why she was acting like that. You just said so yourself. It could have been infidelity.
Wait a minute.
It could have been anything. Go ahead. Go ahead, Alan.
To be fair.
Go ahead, Alan.
To be fair, PJ said it's important to pick the right person. I don't think he made it gender specific.
I did not.
Okay. Way to go. He was definitely making it gender specific, but okay, we
are progressive. However,
it is important to pick the right person.
I want to know, at what point, ladies, at what point do women get out of that whole like Bobby Whitney drama phase of like, you know, at what point do you just be like, hey, you ain't acting right, I'm just gonna walk away?
It depends. Some women, first strike, that's it. Some women are more tolerable and they can deal with more stuff, and they'll deal with multiple things before they decide to like leave. It's all about like what they are willing to accept. Some people just love like really hard and they feel like the person that they are with has
what does that mean? Explain that. Explain what love really hard means.
Love really hard. There's some people. There's some people who like love really hard, but at the same time, like, okay, I don't know how to explain this way. I want to explain this, so I'm just gonna say this. They'll love who they're with, okay, and they'll see the potential in them. And if that person is doing something that's not right, they'll feel like, okay, well, maybe this person can change, and they'll give them a chance after chance after chance. And then maybe after that third chance, they're like, nah, I'm gonna do what Shorty did. And what she did was actually light work. It was not even that serious compared to what she could have done depending on what he did.
She punched him in the face. Wait a minute, you said it's light work? How's it light? Oh, just a little public disturbance.
I forgot that she punched. I forgot that she punched him in the face. I forgot that she did that. That is a bit extreme. Like when you got to put your hands on someone. I don't know what the heck the situation was. I wish we did know. We had a little bit more context, so I can go based off of that. I don't ever feel like you should put your hands on someone to prove your point. But, you know, sometimes people really do get upset, and violence is the only way they know. I'm not saying that me personally, I'm like that. But, I mean, I pushed a few times I've never smacked someone in the face or punched someone in the face out of anger. I wanted to, unless I was actually in a fight, but I've never hit my partner like that, like to that point. I mean, if me personally, if I'm hitting you in your face, I'm punching you, smacking you, whatever in your face, nah, that gotta be something deep there. Because yeah, I that's just not what I do. But she was pissed off. Something happened, and he didn't come out when the police came, so he knew he was wrong.
Maybe he was distraught.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, it does. He knew he was wrong. He was like, "Yo, I'm not even gonna do this. You know, like I did fuck up, and you know, whatever. I'm gonna just stay in the house." He knows what he did was wrong. He knows.
I mean, like in the logic of law, there's really nothing that he could have done outside of put his hands on her first that would kind of justify being his hands put on. So, I mean, he could have just not wanted to deal with the paperwork, to be honest. If he's a student, it's 5 a.m. and you waking up, or he's probably been dealing with this shit all night. You're just like, fam, I'm not doing this. You're not doing this. I'm staying in the house. I'll deal with this shit later. But, I mean, she committed physical assault and robbery? Is that what she said, TJ? She was breaking into his car?
No, she told him, "Hey, I'm gonna steal your bike," and then she stole the bike.
All right, a little thievery and domestic violence. I don't know.
She took his bike and left. She did.
Seems a little extreme. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the situation was. I don't know what the situation was, but I don't think she should have put his hands on him. Because, like, if the tables were reversed, obviously, it would have escalated. It would have escalated to something else. Like, I'm all about, like, if you hit somebody and they hit you back, then it's definitely on you. That's how I see it. I mean, I teach my sons personally never to hit a woman. That's my thing. I tell them never to hit a woman. But, you know, I also have to teach them, like, if a girl, even if it is a girl and she's like beating on you, you got to find a way to defend yourself, whether that's like to push them away, to get them like, you know, to get them to stop. Because yeah, there's no way that my son is going to let a woman, like imagine a big ass woman just punching my son in his face and he's just there taking it. Like that's not happening. I'm sorry. You're going to have to like push her away. I'm not going to advise him to like punch her back, but I do feel like if you do hit somebody, you're gonna get hit back. If you get hit back, it's on you. Just keep your hands to yourself.
Jay, do you worry about that with Noble? Like in dating as people get older, do you worry about, you know, whether or not he's going to be safe with the crazies that are out here, or you know, or when it comes to interactions with women as he gets older?
I haven't thought about it yet. I haven't thought about that yet, but I wonder how I'm going to be interacting with whoever he decides to date. Like, you know, hopefully.
Oh, okay.
But I never really thought about him dating somebody that's crazy or whatever. But I have thought about, like, I hope he doesn't date somebody that think that they can square up with me, because that's not gonna happen.
Period.
Y'all got fights under your belts?
Man.
It's hard though. It's so hard because I remember like there was I think it was like maybe last year or probably 2 years ago, there was like there was kids on the bus that were like bullying my oldest son. And like I was like talking about it at work, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna leave work early because I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna go into the bus. They're like, Jess, what are you about to do? You're about to go on the bus, and like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna tell the kid off? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna scare him. And they were like, no, you can't do that. You're
allegedly,
yeah, they were like,
allegedly you did that.
No, because I was gonna go talk to him, and I was gonna go tell him like, what you're doing is not okay. Like, I was gonna tell him that, and I was also gonna tell his parents the same thing. Like, that's not okay. I'm sorry. There's so many cases out here where kids are committing suicide because
this is true.
Freaking kids are sitting here being bullies. Like, you're not about to do that to my kid. I'm sorry, but I'm always gonna protect my kids. So yeah, I was ready to go on that bus, not hit the kid. I'll hit the parent before I hit the kid, honestly. But I was just gonna tell the kid about themselves.
That's
I was just gonna tell the kid about himself. I was just gonna tell him about himself. Mary was like, Justin, I was like, you can't do that. Yada. So like whatever. I like ended up like going through the school. And then after I did that, like it never happens again. But like no, like you're not about to play with my kid. I don't care who you are. You're not gonna play with my kid.
Yeah. You're not gonna play with my kid.
Oh, so when they go low,
we go lower.
Nobody listens to that Michelle Obama shit like in real life. That's some high morality.
You tried.
We shall, no one's that. Nah. People ain't rocking with that.
It's good in concept. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, but everyone has their like their line in the sand, and normally it's children.
Right.
As you guys should.
In theory, it would be, cool. I'm trying to find the damn video for y'all so that I can, show y'all.
I need for us not to get sued.
Why? Why we get sued? You forget. We are journalists, okay? We are journalists reporting the news.
My apologies. I ain't know we were salacious.
Yes.
Salacious soapbox.
Hey, when things are happening in the world of black and blues, we need to I'm trying to find it, but it's not, for some reason it's not working. Maybe that's God just telling me.
Do you guys see how coordinated we are though right now? Alan and TJ, y'all got the blue. Look, y'all even leaned back at the same time. Y'all got the blue with the black hat. Me and Jay got the all black on. It's so cute.
With the gold accessories, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What we call that is soapbox synchronization. Soapbox synchronization. You know what I'm saying?
The vibes are in it.
And we didn't even plan this. We didn't even plan this.
Know.
You said what?
We for the vibes, y'all. We just
we did.
I said that's crazy because we've been together for so long. It's just it's
synchronization.
We definitely did not plan it.
Yes,
we are in the sync.
We are. Have y'all?
There we go again.
We're like twins.
Yes.
Have y'all been keeping up with what's going on? Just switching gears real quick while I look for this this video to give context. Have y'all been paying attention to what's been going on in Syria? I have some video clips of not Syria. Excuse me. In the Ukraine, right? Ukraine, Russia has invaded Ukraine, and so we have some clips of how even in Ukraine with bombs and people and things that they're going through, we still have black folks are still dealing with discrimination and racism. People always. It just seems like people always got time for bigotry and racism.
Always.
So let's. I want to play this clip for y'all real quick and get y'all reactions. Let's see. I have two clips. Let me see.
Let's get it.
Let's play this one first.
Discrimination of people with Arabic or African roots. What can you tell us about that? Is this true? Did you experience something like this?
Yes, I experienced that. There's a lot of hostility from the white women. They really don't like us to be in the train. Somebody was telling me I have to stand up, I have to go out. If I'm not a Ukrainian, I shouldn't be in the train of a Ukrainian. I should find anywhere I should go to. So it's really, really, really sad that we have to face this. And they prefer their pets, their animals, even before a black man or a black woman. So it's really sad.
Also es gab
And then I'm going to play this other clip for y'all right here.
Has really shone a light on where I'm concerned and has really stuck out to me is that in the midst of all of this, in the midst of people trying to flee from their homes, in the midst of them trying to dodge bullets and bombs and bombardment, they still have time for racism. Because you've got thousands of Black, Asian, Syrian, Arab students and workers who have been also trying to get out of Ukraine and have been prevented from doing so due to the incessant racism that they have experienced. They've not been allowed to go through borders. There have been quite a few of them not been allowed to go through the border into Poland, for example, where they've been pushed back. We're looking at some of the footage now that people have been posting up. They've been pushed back. There are posters up saying no blacks. They have been pulled off buses that have been trying to get through the border because they have been not allowed to leave.
Yeah, so that's a lady speaking on the news about the treatment of black folks in the Ukraine. Because although the Ukrainians are being, we're under fire, but all us black folks, we ain't in this together. It's us first. And I guess doesn't that go with the narrative of like, just be like black, we just don't get no break. Like even in the midst of a damn war, I guess that goes in lines with the black and the blues. Like, yo, that's the blues of sometimes being black. Like we just don't have a break. Like whether it's domestic, whether it's foreign, like we are always under some sort of constant struggle, some fighting for, I wouldn't say equality, just basically fighting for our humanity. Like when you hear this guy say that white people, white women in particular, care more about their dogs being safe than black people, then it makes you think like, when you see these hashtags about pray for Ukraine and, all the Ukrainians, like, wait a minute, y'all out there, how are we going to pray for y'all? And y'all out there discriminating against people that look like me in your own country. And I just wanted to get y'all thoughts. I'll start with you, Alan. What's your thoughts on that?
You're muted.
What it really, it's like, obviously it's racism, and then mixed with like nationalism and tribalism. Because, if you are someone from Ukraine, you don't look at brown people as being Ukraine. So even, Ukrainian, pardon me. So, they're not even looking at the humanity aspect of it. Is more so of a, quote unquote, we are in war. Us Ukrainians are in war. People who look like me are in war. You people get the last priority. You know what I'm saying? So it goes beyond human decency at that point, that they just don't look at us as being a part of whatever that they are going through. So it's like, what are you doing here? Why? It's almost like this is not even your war to fight, or this is not, you guys are not being targeted, or I'm going to look out for people who look like me first. And then, it's obviously just kind of a trickle down effect to just one-on-one interactions. I was told that certain nations from different ethnicities were, sending people over there to get their people out. Also, as of recently, I did see that I believe it was the minister of Ghana went over there to administer like tickets to African people, so to make sure that they had a way to get out of there. And I mean, really, I think that's all it's going to kind of take on a global scale in order for us to, get the, I don't even want to say respect, but just to make sure that we're holding down our own people. We need to make sure that anytime that there's Africans in crisis, anytime that there's Black Americans in crisis, or, I should just say Africans in the diaspora in crisis, that we have a ground zero to make sure that we are being taken care of, because as we can see, everybody else is going to take care of themselves. Like even in a time of war, they're going to put themselves and they're going to put their tribe first. So we got to make sure that we're doing the same thing, and it doesn't have to be on a nasty scale or in a scale that which is, dehumanizes people, which I feel like we are kind of being done to in Ukraine, because like I said, they don't necessarily see us as like just humans trying to get out of a dangerous conditions. They see us as outsiders taking up space from the insiders to get out of that condition that may not have nothing to do with quote unquote us. So, I think there's a way to do that without dehumanizing other people. And, I definitely look forward to us learning from this and, making sure we move forward and prioritizing ourselves. Like I said, of course, with some tact, but, it just goes to show that at the end of the day, this white supremacy thing isn't a niche. It's not something that's just happening over in Alabama or whatever, or Mississippi or whatever, predominantly Oklahoma or whatever predominant piece of land that we have here in the U.S. It's a mindset that kind of takes over globally. So it's a stark reminder of that. But I'm sure they knew that. I'm sure Black people living in Ukraine have experienced that prior to this, but they probably didn't think that in a life or death situation that white supremacy would kind of take precedent over humanity. But we have a lot of history that tells us that that's exactly what will and continues to happen. Okay?
Yeah. What do you think, Jay? You think that do we have a responsibility? Do you feel like we have a responsibility here in the United States as Black Americans to advocate for other groups, whether it's internationally or here domestically? Because I don't.
Well, I think that since this whole term of this, like the United States having this whole culture war thing going on, and it's no longer just like Black people and African Americans, but it's people of color that they term, and Black people and brown people. So I feel like if we decide to stand united as far as like Black and brown people are suppressed, then in that case, I do feel like, even if they are not true, even if you're not fully 100% Black or whatever African American, I don't think that means you just completely disregard oppression for other races, so I'm not against it, but it's a wake-up call for Black people just in general, that no matter where we go, we are always going to be judged by the color of our skin. And see it, no matter the city, the state, the country, it doesn't matter. And so, I feel like a lot of times we just try to escape that, or we try to think like it doesn't exist, or if I just moved here, I did that, and it's just like, no, there's really no escape. But I do believe that if Black people, if there was a chance for us to really come together, like how other races do when their backs are up against the wall, I feel like we would be stronger, but we don't do that. I mean, we can't even vote collectively together. We can't even support each other's businesses. So how the hell are we going to help other people in their country, and we can't even help our own people? We're still in America fighting for civil rights, and they're saying, you can't teach certain things, and the 1916 project is unconstitutional, and if you talk about race and systemic racism, you're racist, or just a lot of things, and they're trying to make it seem like nobody is inherently racist. So it's a lot of things that's going on that we ourselves are not able to stop. So yeah, from that standpoint, I agree with you on that part, where it's just like we got to be able to support ourselves. Everybody wants support from us, but it's not equal on the other side as far as everybody coming to support us. Now, I will say that I do feel like the LGBTQ community supports some of the opposition that we face, but I guess that's another conversation. Because I
don't know about that. We probably agree today. I think yeah, you're right. Well, that's another topic for another conversation. Just say, what do you think? We feel like we have a responsibility to other groups. I know you're in a different space because you have your Convertian community, then you have the Black community. Do you feel like Is there? Let me ask you. There's a separation? Do you feel like, hey, if there's something going on in the let's say Convertian community, that people here who are Black should pay attention and be like, hey, this is happening to us. We should care, or would you be offended if Black folks was like, well, that ain't us?
No, I feel like we should care, because if we're talking Black Lives Matter, for example, then all Black lives matter. It's not Black Lives Matter just here in America. It's Black Lives Matter no matter where you are. So I feel like, yeah, we should care. We definitely should care, because it shouldn't matter what part of the country you're at. If that's what you stand for, then that's what you stand for, and it shouldn't change. I know there's been cases like literally in Cape Verde, where a Cape Verdean was in Portugal. And there was a situation I think like probably a year or so ago, where a Cape Verdean got murdered in Portugal, and there was like an uproar about it, and there was people here in America that were talking about it, and there was people in Cape Verde that were talking about it, and there was people in Portugal that were talking about it. And I think that's like, a perfect example. Like, it doesn't matter like where you are. If something is happening to your own kind, then you got to care about it, because if that's what you stand for, it shouldn't matter where they're located. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Okay. No, I see it
the same way.
Yeah, I think we have a responsibility to be aware, to make sure that, hey, the things that are happening to, we want to make sure that the things that are happening on somebody else's doorstep aren't going to trickle all over to us, because like we were saying, we can't really afford much of anything else, more discrimination, more adversity, because of the state that we are currently in this country. But I think it's even more important for other countries to or for other groups to pay attention to how we are actually being treated. Because a lot of times how African Americans or Black folks are treated here in the US, they're more like, oh, well, that's that. And African Americans, Black folks are always coming to the aid of other interest groups. And I think we get on the short end of the stick when it comes to, people running to our aid. Like, intersectionality is only about, really, and that's what we're talking about, LGBTQ. You see more of the intersectionality stuff when it comes to the financial base, like when it comes to profiteering off of Black folks, when it comes to profiteering off of Africa and resources. But when it comes to like our humanity, or actually caring about, who we are or our plight or our Black experience, we don't get the overt support that we give. And so the relationship towards others are one-sided. So now we're in a space where we are kind of waking up to, hey, there needs to be some reciprocity in any relationship. I think a lot of people are looking for reciprocity, right? You can't just keep treating people and, hey, I'm there for you, and then there's no give back. It's only natural to want people to be there for you, and when they're not, for you to have the awareness to be like, well, I'm sorry that you're going through that. We'll do the hashtag, but us going out of our way to advocate for people that wouldn't care what's going on with us, I think that's the space that we're getting in. It's an unfortunate space, but it's the reality of the Black experience, not just in this country. But I do think this is something that's why I'm so interested in traveling, not to just experience the international racism or the global white supremacy, but you hear a lot of this stuff, and you want to talk to people who look like you or have your same pigmentation but are from different countries, to know what they're going through and hear their stories and hear these experiences. And I think more people should. I'm hoping hopefully we can do some more traveling in the next year or so, when some of these regulations. Did y'all know that y'all need a vaccination card to go on a cruise? I know I just kind of pivoted to that, but these are things that is on the line. You need to be fully vaccinated in order to be on a cruise. Not a mask, not a card of a negative test. You need to be vaccinated. So if you're not vaccinated, you can't get on no Titanic ship to sail anywhere over the summer. Trust me, I know. I've looked. I've been scouring the place, but yeah. Do y'all think that's fair?
Yeah. That kind of makes sense. I mean, I remember when like towards like the very, very beginning of the pandemic, and then like maybe a year where we were in between strains, I guess. Like they found like cruises were super duper spreader events. You know what I'm saying? Obviously,
really?
Yeah. Like, you know, and obviously, of course, if you're vaccinated, you could still spread COVID, but they really did find like cruises to be a hotbed of people spreading COVID. And I mean, shoot, you know, we're in cities where you can't go to a restaurant without being vaccinated. Even though I know we're getting on the other side.
I guess because we're in Florida, we don't have that.
I mean, I know y'all don't care about that down there, but yeah, I mean, it's almost been a year and a half or so. Now probably going on maybe a year now, where you know in New York you can't go anywhere without being vaccinated. So a cruise where everyone's at the same place at the same time, coming from a gazillion other places at the same time. Yeah, I think that kind of makes. Not make sense, but just in line with everything that's been going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it. I'm all for testing. I'm all for, if you need a test, and making sure everybody's safe. I'm good with that. But to basically exclude people who made a decision to be like, hey, I'm not going to, receive the vaccine, for you to be like, oh, that's it. You can't be on a cruise. I don't know if I would go, that. I don't know if I would go that far. I did want to play y'all a clip to get y'all on our last story. I want to get y'all a clip, and see. I don't know did y'all see DeSantis, Governor Ron DeSantis? He was in the news today. Did y'all see this?
I did.
Yo, this is Governor Ron DeSantis going to a press conference at University of South Florida, and this is his reaction towards, and these are high school kids. This is his reaction towards high school kids and them wearing masks.
You do not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything. We got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine. But this is ridiculous.
All right. Well, it's good to be at USF.
So yeah, Alan, that's what we dealing with in Florida. So
yeah,
that's the fearless leader, Governor Ron DeSantis, admonishing children for wearing masks and trying to be safe in their health choices. So
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
No, I was just gonna say maybe they were wearing it because they were told that they had to wear it, not because necessarily they wanted to wear it. Just saying, like, hypothetically, that doesn't mean it's true, but maybe they were told like you have to wear it. Because like even here in Massachusetts, like there's some places where they're like, you don't have to wear the mask no more. Like it's up to you. Even in my son's school, it's optional. Like if they want to wear it, they just they made the announcement, and starting Monday, they said, like, if you want to wear it, you can wear it, but you don't have to wear it if you don't want to. But at my job, it's like, no, you have to wear it. We're mask friendly, so you have to wear it. So maybe they were just told that they had to wear the mask, and not necessarily because they felt like it was safe to do so. But I don't know. I was just saying based on what you just said, Peter.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like to know what the hell is COVID theater?
Well, what is theater?
Like, that's what he said. He said, "Oh, he's like, we need to stop this COVID theater."
Theatrics.
As if COVID was make believe. Like thousands of people didn't die.
I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing on this because it's very controversial. So go ahead, Alan.
No, I mean, I was just gonna say it's like it's just such a contradiction. Like it's cool for you to go up there and say, "Hey, if you guys don't want to wear a mask, you don't have to." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He started off, you don't have to, it's your choice. And then he like just kicked it up to another gear, talking about you have to stop with this COVID theater stuff. It's not really doing anything. Huffing and puffing, like, fam, you don't know these people's personal situations. Like,
if that was your child, Alan, would you have a problem with that if you spoke to your child like that?
Well, and that's That's what I was going to get into next. Like, who's to say that them parents, you know, a parent is going to look at that video and say, how dare you talk to my kid like that? Like, a parent could be, you know, a compromised immune system, and the mask does do something. Like, the science doesn't back up what he's saying. But even if it did it, it's like there's a certain way that you talk to people. Forget kids. You got to have some sort of human empathy with when you start approaching people like that. And then to say COVID did it is just such a disrespect to other people who not only passed, but are still dealing with long-term effects of COVID. It's just stupid. Like, if it's really about choice, make it about choice. Leave it at, hey, you don't have, you know, if you can wear the mask if you like, but I'm not making you.
You don't have
your
to.
choice.
Right?
But then if you want to turn around and start, you know, being snide and dissing people and being an asshole because of it, when I remember there was a video that went out a couple of months ago where he could barely speak and he disappeared from doing anything for like 3 weeks. And it was, you know, it was rumored that he had gotten COVID really bad. You know, of course, all of that is alleged. I mean, the video is not alleged, but him getting COVID is alleged. So I think it's just really disrespectful and rude. And that's not how you deal with things as a leader. And, you know, he may have to see one of those parents, because why are you talking to my child like that?
Yeah. You know, for me, when it comes to DeSantis, it was more of it wasn't necessarily his reaction, because, you know, his reaction is like he's allowed to have his opinion, right? But as an elected official, for him to act and have that response and behave towards those high school students that way, that just speaks to like his lack of fear or accountability that the Florida Democrats can actually hold him accountable. Because like any other politician would be like concerned, like, wait a minute, if I do this, it's going to be a bad look. Like it would hurt me politically, or people would, but not in Florida. In Florida, he's just out here willy-nilly, basically berating high school kids at a press conference with multiple media outlets in front of him, and basically was like, shrugged it off like, all right, good morning, everybody. Let's get on with the show. Like, that's
like stupid kids.
Yeah, like that's like something like, get off my lawn. Get off my lawn, young kids.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about it. That's what's crazy. Like, it just seems like no matter what, like he is, and this is someone who y'all got to watch out. This is someone y'all gonna hear about him when it comes to that 2024 presidential election. And as far as the Republican, if y'all trust me, Florida's problem. Remember we talked about, well, black folks, if they got problems here domestically, you know, y'all better pay attention, because this could be everybody's problem. Well, DeSantis is a problem, you know, in my estimation. But the Democrats to this juncture don't have a real answer for him when it comes as far as politically, right? He's all up in the paint like Shaq in his prime, and they don't know, they have no defense for him besides shaming tactics, because to this point, there hasn't been a front-running Democratic gubernatorial candidate that's actually challenging him or polling in the right direction, where he feels like he is threatened to lose his seat. So we shall keep. Go ahead.
So this is just a thought. You know, I'm just thinking, like, watching the video and hearing what you guys are saying. I'm pretty sure that he's done like other press conferences or like other meetings. In this one in particular, the majority was African Americans in the background who were wearing masks. So I'm just wondering,
were they?
And I mean, if you want to play it back, check. Maybe I saw like a few. They were African American.
Please take it. Honestly, it's not doing anything, and we got to stop with this COVID fear. So if you want to wear it, fine. But this is ridiculous.
I see a white girl.
Okay. All right. So it's like half and half. It's like 50.
Rainbow Coalition. Rainbow Coalition.
It's like 50-50. They're young kids. Yeah. Okay, I'll take that 50-50. But I'm just wondering, right? In other press conferences that he's done, whether it was with younger kids, older people, people with higher status, did he have that same energy? Because I'm pretty sure that people were wearing masks.
What Governor DeSantis does, he has this, he's like baby Trump. So he has this like fake bravado. He knows when to turn it on and off and you know, those type of, you know.
But that says a lot. Like, no, like that's
to his crowd and his base. But they do these type of like he talks about COVID theater, like conservative theater is putting on this tough guy act so that to ignite his base to be like, yeah, we support him. Yeah, that's COVID theater. Yeah. So like, I think a lot of times people look at politicians and think that they're catering to everybody. They're not catering to everybody because you're only catering to people in your voter base or your voter block or people.
My thing is if you're a certain way, just be that way. No matter who you're with, no matter who's around, just be. If that's who you are. That's who you are.
Oh, and he's in the paint, and that's what I'm talking about. Like that's what he's been doing, and that's how he is, and so he's not wavering from it. But the opposition, the other side, the Democrats, they gotta have an answer besides look how mean he was to those kids. Uh-huh. Can y'all believe that? We don't need a governor like this. And it's like, yeah, but what are the options? And so you're not giving Florida Democrats any sort of like meat on the bone to say, all right, I got to run to the polls because the candidates that we got so far, they're not really hitting that, that excitement button, that excitement meter. So that's why he is allowed to just roam free and kind of wield, throw his weight around and do certain things. Like when you start, you're feeling yourself politically when you yell at kids in front of media cameras and you sleep and you don't even flinch. He didn't even flinch. He didn't even flinch, especially on a public. You're talking about public health and their freedom of choice, like in their minors.
Yeah,
fair. Like that you're in a political groove. You're feeling yourself. So we shall stay abreast of that situation. But right now, I definitely want to get to the moral of the story. We're having a shortened show today. We're just kind of getting back into our groove. But yes, let's get to the moral of the story. And I'm going to start with you. I'm going to do a single solo shot. Is that okay, Mr. Producer? Hold on, Mr. Producer. Is that?
Oh my God. Wait, what was the first topic we talked about again?
We talked about the domestic violence disturbance. And actually, no, we talked about just your views of being exhausted trying to maintain success and what your idea of success is and kind of staying the course.
Okay, I was gone for that, so I guess I'll just
it was a riveting podcast. We're gonna get all the views.
It was riveting.
Yes.
Yes. So I guess my moral of the story, I guess when it comes to success, is to just like do it at your own pace and don't like really conform to like the pressures of like what you see like on social media, because honestly when it comes to social media, not everything is real life and you can't really believe like everything you see on social media. Not everyone documents their process. Everyone works at their own pace. Everyone goes through their own process. So just like do everything at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to others. Believe in yourself. If you have a vision, strive to like for greatness. Strive to be better every day until you get to where you want to be without comparing yourself to others. So yeah, that's my moral of the story.
Shout out to you. Jay, what's your moral of the story?
You're muted, boo.
Okay, my bad. Oh my gosh, it's just like this part of my hair has started sticking up.
You're still beautiful.
Thank you. My moral of the story would be to get focused on maybe two or your top two. I'm gonna say top two, your top two goals for the next 3 or 4 months, and just work towards them. And find a trusted person that you can share it with. My other advice would be to whatever it is that you're doing, believe that it is grand, make it big, don't settle, and everybody is waiting for you to unleash all of that power. So that's my moral of the story.
All right, Alan York, what's your moral of the story, kid?
Man, so the moral of the story today is, make sure self-evaluations. Make sure you do your self-evaluations and also give yourself grace. Don't ever think it's too late to do anything. As long as you got time and drive, and consistency is the key.
Word. And listen, my moral of the story is protect yourself at all times. Make sure that you touch your. No, I'm just kidding. That's a boxing terminology. Listen, fellas, make sure you don't put nothing past these ladies. Don't you dare just be leaving your face. And sometimes you gotta, make sure you protect yourself at all times. That's just not in life, just in business. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're not burning out or burning at both ends, burning the candle at both ends. But I think we have a moral responsibility to be. I don't think self-preservation is necessarily a bad thing. I think it's only right for people to want to make sure that their house is in order first before they can go and assist anybody else. They actually tell you that on an airplane. Make sure you put the gas mask on yourself first before you try to assist other people. And I think as African Americans in our community, I think that is where we are right now. So it's unfortunate that people are going through things in foreign countries. And it's very sad. People who look like us are going through those things as well. Yes, we keep those people in our prayers, but as far as a moral obligation for us to be the ones to always pick up arms for other people's battles, I just don't think that. I think it's actually it would be irresponsible of us as a community, and I think it's also offensive, especially when we haven't received the results that we want. We have a president who is, touting in his State of the Union address saying that we should start funding the police when you still have unarmed Black people that are being murdered at an alarming rate in this country. That's a problem. And so we need to look and reevaluate our own self-worth first. Do we value others more than we value ourselves? And I think Black folks are in that crossroads. And in that crossroads of Black people self-evaluating ourselves and our worth in this country, I think that the Democrats, if they are not careful, will suffer politically because they are not adhering to the requests of their own voter base, which is centered around African American voter bloc. So that is our show for today. So for Giovanni, for Alan York, thanks for sticking out with us. Alan, I know you got a lot going on today. Thank you, ladies, for showing up as always, looking lovely and being here and your thoughts and articulating your positions. Thank y'all so much. Hey, Soapboxx Nation, thank y'all for checking with us as well. Thunder Coochie, I don't want to forget you. You said feeling yourself, staying abreast. Damn, this stream is getting dirty. Hey, make sure you light yourself a cigarette because we are the hottest podcast on your streaming services. Yes, crazy. Late night. Hey, whatever gets you going. It is what it is. Black and Blues. We are the Soapboxx Podcast. This is where we say peace. Peace. We out. Black and Blue. Tell them what we talking about. Anything. Tell them what we